Hello and welcome. It's 6 p.m. India time or 12:30 GMT and 5:30 in Pakistan, where the opposition parties have said that they will join forces to field their own candidate for Prime Minister in the federal legislature, challenging former cricket star Imran Khan, whose party won last week's general election. Now, Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party won 116 of the 272 seats in the National Assembly. The PTI, along with allied parties, is set to acquire a simple majority in the federal legislature with the support of Muttahida Qawmi Movement Pakistan. Maryam Aurangzeb, the spokesperson of Nawaz Sharif's party, the PML-N, said that the opposition parties would vote together with some smaller parties against Khan's election as Prime Minister. The opposition parties on Thursday repeated the allegation that the country's powerful military rigged the 25 July election.
Unanimously, all political parties present in the all-party conference rejected the results of election 2018, and we believe that the true mandate of people of Pakistan is stolen, and this was not a transparent election. Free and fair field was not provided to the political parties, and the role of Election Commission, the incompetency of Election Commission was also highlighted. We decided that the political parties will contest all the candidatures in the parliament. To begin with, the Speaker of the parliament candidate would be unitedly, it is decided that will be from Pakistan People's Party. The Prime Minister candidate will be from Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz, and the Deputy Speaker would be from MMA.
And I'm now joined live from Islamabad by my colleague Anas Malik. Good afternoon, Anas. How do the numbers stack up as we speak? There's no end to the political drama, it seems, unfolding in Pakistan.
Absolutely, Ramesh. You rightly mentioned there's no end to the political drama that is unfolding in Pakistan for about 10 days now. It's been roughly almost 10 days since Pakistan went into polls, and we're yet to see an official announcement as to which party will be forming the government. But now, just a while back, the MQM has announced its formal coalition with the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf of Imran Khan. So what we're understanding is that PTI might just be in a position. The number game is more like that. At this point of time, with the MQM joining in the coalition, PTI has 133 members on its side, whereas the opposition coalition currently stands at 121. So it gets interesting with time passes. What we're yet to see is that the critical support of those independent candidates, the 13 independent candidates, as to which side they will be opting for. The PTI claims that they've actually rounded up eight of the independent candidates on their side, but we haven't seen any official announcement as yet. However, we did see about 4 of these 13 did formally go on record and say they have joined PTI, but we're yet to see an official announcement of the rest of these 9 candidates out of the 13. But as of now, the number game is interesting with keeping in mind that PTI has 116 seats. Their allies are Awami Muslim League that has 1 seat, the MQM that has 6 seats, the Pakistan Muslim League Quaid-e-Azam that has 4 seats. They've also went into an alliance with the Grand Democratic Alliance from Sindh that was against the Pakistan People's Party, which has 2 seats from the Sindh province, along with the Balochistan Awami Party that has 4 seats as well. So the number currently rounds up to 133. Again, it does not touch that 137 margin. The PTI is roughly 4 seats short as we speak, and whereas the opposition parties, if we count down their numbers, there are 64 seats for the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, the PML-N, 43 seats for the Pakistan People's Party, 1 seat for the Awami National Party, 13 seats for that MMA, the right-wing alliance of the religious parties, and 1 seat of the Awami National Party as well. So their figure rounds up to 121. So all in all, it will be interesting as to which side does the independent candidates opt for. Yes, Ramesh.
Also, very quickly, Anas, is there any clarity yet on the date of Imran Khan's swearing in and the people who might be invited for his inauguration? One moment PTI says will invite celebrities from including India. The next moment it says no, that's not true.
Absolutely, Ramesh. There hasn't been any clarity as yet onto the date of that swearing-in ceremony of Imran Khan, the probable Prime Minister of Pakistan. But what we're expecting and picking up from our sources in the government is that that would be done by the 12th of August, considering the fact that if all of the formalities are done by the Election Commission of Pakistan by the 10th of August, they are to start issuing notification of the winning candidates from tomorrow. That process will go on till the 6th of August. From then onwards, based on these winning notifications, till the 9th, they will start issuing notifications of the reserve seats and the minority candidates of the winning parties. On 10th, by the 10th, they will then issue the formal accumulated and final accumulated count of the party positions in the National Assembly. That would be the newcomers. On 11th, if only these things as they go as per plan, then on the 11th, the Assembly is likely to be formally convened, where the new member of the Parliament will take oath. They will elect the Speaker, and if only the Speaker is elected and things go according to the plan, then on the same date, the Prime Minister or the Leader of the House will be elected as well. And if only on the 11th, if the Leader of the House is elected, then Imran Khan is likely to take oath on 12th or the 13th. So a lot of ifs and buts we're seeing, considering the fact that the ongoing scenario, it all depends upon the ongoing scenario and how things shape up, and the fact that how the Election Commission of Pakistan is able to keep up with its ongoing and current deadlines. Yes, Ramesh.
Indeed. Anas Malik in Islamabad, thank you so much for joining me on WION Dispatch. Meanwhile, the US government on Thursday said that Russia is carrying out a pervasive campaign to influence public opinion in the US. The national security team of President Trump said that a major effort was underway to protect the integrity of the upcoming midterm election and the 2020 presidential election in the US. A slew of top U.S. officials, including Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats and Homeland Security Chief Christian Nielsen, vow to investigate and prosecute those who are trying to sway U.S. opinion or carrying out information warfare.
Today we are here to talk about the elections coming up and what we're doing, ensuring the American people will have legitimacy.
Just clarify, so because both you and Director Ray said that Russia continues to try to meddle in our elections.
They do.
And influence voters. Are we talking about rogue Russian individuals, or are we talking about the Kremlin?
I'm thinking you can both, and even add to that. Russia has used numerous ways in which they want to influence through media, social media, through bots, through actors that they hire, through proxies, all of the above and potentially more. I can't go into any deep details on what is classified, but it's pervasive, it is ongoing with the intent to achieve their intent, and that is drive a wedge and undermine our democratic values.
Remember, this comes weeks after the U.S. president had voiced his skepticism about Russia's role in the U.S. election meddling. Moving on, some major turbulence has hit the Indian airline Jet Airways. India's premier airline has informed its employees that the airline will not be able to operate beyond 60 days unless cost-cutting measures, including pay cuts, are put in place. In a series of meetings in Delhi and Mumbai, Jet Airways chairman Naresh Goyal told employees that the financial health of the airlines is in a bad shape. The management blamed rising fuel prices and major market share gains by rival airlines Indigo for its falling financial position. Employees have not accepted the chairman's notice, which demands a 25% cut from their salary with no refund for the next 2 years. Jet Airways has asked its engineering department to exit from the company. But it's not just the engineering department. The company is planning to lay off staff from other departments, including cabin crew and ground handling departments. The Indian government has sent a request to the British government through its High Commission in London for the extradition of fugitive businessman Nirav Modi. Nirav Modi has been accused of a $2 billion bank fraud. The Indian government revoked the passport of the jeweler on 16th February. Interpol has issued 2 red corner notices against him. And in what could spell trouble for beleaguered businessman Mehul Choksi, India's Central Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, has claimed that it will move an extradition request against him. The decision follows a confirmation from the Antiguan authorities that Choksi, the alleged mastermind of the $2 billion scam, is in their country. The officials confirmed that Choksi had taken the citizenship of Antigua in November last year and an oath of allegiance on the 15th of January this year. India's premier agency, the Central Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, is likely to move an extradition request through its foreign ministry and may not wait for a red corner notice as the application is still pending with Interpol. Meanwhile, Choksi's lawyer blamed the Indian authorities for scapegoating their client Mehul Choksi. Moving on, at least 26 people have been killed in airstrikes allegedly by the Saudi-led Arab coalition on a fish market in the Yemeni port city of Hodeidah. For its part, the spokesperson of the Saudi Arabia-led Arab coalition denied any responsibility for the airstrikes. Earlier, the International Committee of the Red Cross said that it was sending medical equipment to Al Thawra Hospital to treat 50 people in a critical condition following the attacks. The strikes come as the United Nations tries to secure a ceasefire agreement between the warring sides. All right, joining me from Amman in Jordan is my colleague Daniele Pagani. Good evening, Daniele. Now, there are conflicting versions of the casualty figure in those airstrikes in Hodeidah. Some call it 26, others call it putting it at 55 or even 70. What's the latest you are picking up about the situation in Hodeidah as we speak?
Good evening to you, Ramesh, and good evening to all our viewers. So yes, there are conflicting numbers. We have agencies, press agencies putting the number at 28. The Houthi rebels, which are currently still in control of large parts of the city of Hodeidah, put the casualty number at 55, with more than 120 citizens severely injured. Whatever the number of casualties, this is what we were expecting and what the international community was warning of when they said that a large-scale offensive against a city as densely populated as Hodeidah, with the second largest port of Yemen, could have caused it. This is indeed a tragedy. Yes, the Arab coalition does not take responsibility for these late bombings, but it is hard to believe it is not on their side, because they are the only one heavily bombing the city of Hodeidah. Remember that a combined offensive started more than a month back. The offensive is led by the Saudi Arabian-led coalition, which involves also heavily the United Arab Emirates, and also part of the supporters and the troops on the ground standing on the side of the former president and now his son.
And very quickly, Daniele, some are calling Yemen the never-ending war, a forgotten war in every sense of the term. For instance, the WHO calls it the worst humanitarian disaster in terms of a fear of cholera epidemic breaking out. Malnutrition is pretty high in Yemen, and there is no end to the resolution of the ceasefire talks. So what's happening in Yemen as we speak, with the UN trying to bring the two warring sides together for negotiation of the prospective ceasefire in Hodeidah and beyond?
The Special Envoy for Yemen and the United Nations, Mr. Martin Griffiths, have been trying to negotiate very hard in the last 3 months, at least a peace agreement regarding the port of Hodeidah, in order for the United Nations to take full, complete and exclusive control of the port in order to let humanitarian aid in. He's also trying to broker a deal, a truce deal between the warring parties, the United Arab Emirates and Saudi-led coalition and the Houthi rebels, with no result. What we know so far is that the United Arab Emirates and Saudi-led coalition has not started bombing heavily on daily basis the city of Hodeidah, because it's a densely populated area and they know very well what it means in West Asia to bomb such a city. Yes, Yemen is indeed a forgotten conflict. Yemen was already the poorest among the Arab nations. The conflict started in 2015, divided the country in two, with now a third party in the southern part of the country claiming to be willing to form another independent entity within the country. So many warring parties, the international community not able to reach on the ground in many areas, the media not able to reach on the ground in order to witness what is going on, a complete battle of narratives, and a very, very limited amount of medical equipment, doctors. Remember that Yemen is basically now in bankruptcy. So managing each and every single situation like the one happening right now is critical.
Indeed, on that note, Daniele Pagani in Amman, thank you so much for that update. Appreciated. All right, shifting focus from West Asia now to Southern Africa. Zimbabwe's Election Commission has declared President Emerson Mnangagwa, a former spy chief installed after Robert Mugabe's removal, as the winner of the presidential election. After 2 days of claims and counterclaims, the 75-year-old Mnangagwa secured a comfortable victory, polling 2.42 million votes against 2.15 million votes for 40-year-old opposition leader Nelson Chamisa. Before the results were declared, police had sealed off the headquarters of the opposition Movement for Democratic Change, and 27 party employees carrying out voter tabulation were reportedly locked inside.
Votes received by Mnangagwa Emerson Dambudzo of ZANU-PF party are more than half the number of votes cast in the presidential election. Therefore, Mnangagwa Emerson Dambudzo of ZANU-PF party is therefore duly declared elected President of the Republic of Zimbabwe with effect from the 3rd of August 2018.
Earlier, opposition candidate Chamisa declared himself a winner. Chamisa spoke to journalists after visiting people being treated at Harare's hospital following election-related violence on Wednesday. The election was marred by the deaths of 6 people in an army crackdown on opposition protests.
We respect Zach, we respect the law, but we are being abused for respecting the law. We have a percentage. We know that we defeated Mnangagwa in all the constituencies where his MPs were winning. Mnangagwa was losing. In all the constituencies where my MPs were not performing well, I won. Overall, I have a majority vote.